Hello, welcome to SkyThinker, where gentle stories touch the heart. Maybe you are tired today. Maybe your heart has some unnameable gaps. But in each story tonight, I believe you will find something. A ray of light, a reminder, or simply a peaceful breath in the midst of a busy life. Kind things still exist. New beginnings can always start from very small things. And you always deserve beautiful dreams. Now, I will tell you a story, gently so you can listen and let your heart drift. Mr. Thomas moved to the barren land at the end of the village on a cold, gray autumn afternoon. The land had been an abandoned farm. The weeds were knee-high and the wind blew through it as if it were whistling an ironic song in people's ears. Nothing grows here, the villagers said. That old man must be trying to plant something in the cemetery of dirt. At his age, why not enjoy his old age? Mr. Thomas listened to everything, but did not answer. Every morning, he took a wooden chair to the middle of the garden, sat pensively looking at the ground. No plowing, no digging, just quietly looking, as if listening to a story someone told from the ground. Then one day he began. He used no machinery, just a rusty hoe and his skinny hands. Each seed he placed was like a whisper, live. Every day he watered it with an old tin can. He talked to the young plants like old friends who had not seen each other for a long time. The children giggled at first. Then gradually they sat down on the fence, watching him work, not knowing when. A year passed. Nothing grew. Only his skin grew more tanned, his hands rough, and his eyes still glowed like a small, smoldering fire. The second year, a tiny sunflower sprouted through the dry soil. Then one, then two, and the whole patch of land suddenly sprouted green shoots. The rows of carrots, green cabbage, and wild daisies bloomed together, without any need for order. Because in the eyes of those who turned to look at the land for the first time, everything was as beautiful as a picture. A village boy asked, "Grandpa, why didn't you give up after the first year?" He smiled, his wrinkles turning into bird wings. "Because the earth didn't trust me yet." In the third year, his garden became a place where people brought their children to play, old people to sit, young people to learn how to grow crops. No one called it Wasteland anymore. People began to call Mr. Thomas by another name, the spring sower. The garden not only bloomed, it also bloomed with faith. People came from all over the region. Some brought strange seeds, some brought books, some brought only old stories about things they had once wanted to do, but had quietly put aside because life was too harsh. Mr. Thomas did not ask many questions. He just listened, nodded, and gave them a small piece of land, as if he always knew that everyone had a spring waiting to be sown. A single mother learned how to grow vegetables, selling them at the morning market to support her children. An unemployed welder found joy in tending a bed of purple chrysanthemums. A young man who had dropped out of school because he was depressed now woke up at 5 a.m. to check the soil moisture. Without anyone telling him, that communal garden became a garden of faith. And then winter came. Strong winds and early snowfall. Trees shed their leaves. Flowers shriveled. The garden temporarily hibernated. Someone worried, what if next spring doesn't grow back? Mr. Thomas just smiled, his eyes looking at the empty land silently like an unwritten page. It's okay. The land also needs to rest, to dream a new dream. That year, he fell ill. He no longer went to the garden as much as before. But every morning, from the small wooden window, he still watched other hands continuing the work he had done, quietly, devotedly, lovingly. The following spring, trees grew again. Flowers bloomed again. And in front of the garden door, people placed a simple wooden sign. This place used to be a wasteland. But someone sowed the first spring.